Into our newsroom, this security camera video. Now, remember, this is from an adjacent condominium. Stunning. It captured the moment of the collapse, a 12-story complex simply turning to rubble. It almost looks as if it was an intended implosion. Here's ABC's Rena Roy with the latest.
People living in a condemned North Miami Beach residential building will be able to remove the rest of their belongings. Their homes deemed unsafe to live in. In all, 55 families living right there in Bayview, 60 homes. The property owner has been repairing the 5-story building since last July, all in preparation for the building's upcoming 50-year recertification inspections. That's when structural engineers found critical issues.
The Champlain Towers condominium was attacked by water, both from the roof and from the inside and from down on the garage. And we're going to take a look today in this video on what was going on with all of that water and what effect does it have, do you think, on the collapse of this condominium in Miami. Once you have your whole roof now, okay, Mother Nature takes its toll on it. It's going to spend the next 15 years trying to force water down in through these different layers. And once the water starts piercing the layers, it's game over, folks. Because the minute it gets down into the concrete slab here, it will be stuck here, where you'll have the same problem that they had down on the pool deck down below, where the water sits under the membrane and it just destroys the concrete over time and causes spalling and cracking. Water will eventually soak into the concrete. That's what we're showing right here. And once it soaks into the concrete, it can then ruin the rebar that's in the top and in the bottom and cause the rebar to rust and cause spalling. And this became quite evident in one of my condo buildings, so dreaded concrete spalling.
Course, again, is the widest part of this crack. Now, what's interesting about these two particular photos is if we look at the upper left area and we kind of, this zoomed in image, if we look at this area here, we can see that what we call a vertical displacement across this crack. And so what I mean is that this surface of the crack here is here, but its matching point is down here. And so this thing is almost like I don't know, maybe 3 centimeters of gap, I would guess.
Surfside condo collapse in June. The CBS 12 News I-Team has been investigating how that tragedy could change everything for condo residents all over South Florida. The Boca Raton has passed a city ordinance establishing strict new inspection requirements for older buildings, and the Palm Beach County Commission was poised to do the same, but is now deferring to lawmakers in Tallahassee.
Yeah, so here's where things could get really tense here. If inspectors find serious problems, buildings don't have the cash to make the repairs, will officials force people out of their homes? And how soon can those inspections realistically take place, given the thousands of buildings that need to be looked at?
Yeah, so the I-Team has discovered that one tool that could speed up the process, specially equipped drones. Here's Chief Investigator Mike Magnoli live here with us this morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's interesting technology. Give you a little more context. You remember after 9/11 when everybody was on the lookout for terrorism and there was that campaign, see something, say something? Well, when we're talking about condos, the new mantra is see something, do something. What's happening inside the walls of a high-rise building? How much moisture has seeped in? And if cracks are visible on the outside, how deep do they go?
All the batteries are working, huh, Dirk? Yes, sir.
This two-man team can answer those questions with their drone, thanks to its specially equipped thermal imaging camera. Dirk Sitchell and Bart Bruni won't tell us what buildings they've been hired to look at since Surfside. Their clients don't want any potential problems broadcast on TV, but we can tell you, they say they're seeing a pattern emerging. Sitchell and Bruni tell the I-Team the most common problem they're seeing is corrosion, the penetration of salt water and salty sea air into the support structure of the buildings. In Surfside, investigators are working to establish whether corrosion was the primary cause of the collapse. Sitchell and Bruni believe that it was, and the past few months, they've found a lot more of it, which has been unwelcome news for some condo associations.
Pretty much every time we show them images, they're a bit surprised and taken back.
More than 900,000 buildings in Florida are over 30 years old, Every one of them holds up differently to decades of Florida's weather. But Bruni tells the I-Team potential sources of corrosion are as easy to detect as seeing different colors.
The top colors are hot and the lower colors are cold.
Colder means more moisture. That's not good. This is a 16-story condo building along the coast, and this thermal imaging shows where water is trapped. See these areas colored blue and black. This is where stagnant water sits and over time softens the bones of the tower.
It's trying to evaporate, but it's just condensating and becoming water again, and it's just evaporating, condensating, and making water. That science is going over and over and over again. Has no way out until a chunk falls off the building. This is getting worse. This is getting worse. Well, maybe we should start a fund now.
This thermal imaging technology is used to look for body heat signatures of wildlife in the Everglades. It's also used to study asteroids in outer space. Dirk and Bart say its best application could be to save lives, to pinpoint corrosion trouble spots. But again, that knowledge is only half of the solution. Condo associations have to act.
Surfside obviously was an extreme situation. However, with the degradation and the deterioration that we see additional damage in buildings with water getting inside the building, water creating thermal exceptions on the outside, and saturation that is degrading the building with time.